I don't have the gift of gab like Chad. I'm not a stand-up comedian and singer like Tim over here is now. I'm not a great extemporaneous speaker as John is. You heard him and Chad the other night. They're great speakers. So I have to have my notes. I'm ready to go. John asked me to share some pictures and my experiences from the Chesapeake Bay striper trip this past December I had as first mate. We decided to do even better and bring Captain Tommy here. Tommy Thompson from Rock Creek Charters, and I see you brought your wife, Joetta, right?
Yes.
And Chloe, welcome to the club meeting. And everybody, Chloe, his daughter, is going to get her captain's license, keep your fingers crossed, this spring. And I got a question for you. Are you going to be able to ride the heated Hughes boat, or are you in that old skiff?
I'm in a skiff.
No, Dad, Dad. So we're going to have 2 Thompsons on the lake, so just get ready. I had the privilege of being first mate for 10 days in December on the eastern shore in Exmoor, Virginia. I had an amazing experience while learning a lot and having fun. Tommy made the trip fun and exciting, not only for myself, but also his customers. You're going to see a ton of smiles in here. I mean, these people were having an absolute blast. First mate job, I'll talk about me first and I'll turn it over to him. First mate job is hard, especially because of the boss I had. As first mate, some of my jobs included making breakfast for the captain, packing snacks for the captain, bringing drinks for the captain.
This sounds like kindergarten.
Making lunch for the captain, launching the boat for the captain, giving out the Dramamine, and I've been in many charters and been in the Navy, and I learned I don't take any chances. I've never been sick, but I've always taken a little bit of precaution. It does help. If you go in there strong, or you get tanked the night before and you're in recovery the next morning, you're going to be hurting. Making sure the pea bucket is available. Putting eels on hooks in 27-degree water. Those of you who've been in the Navy, you know there's 6 wave actions. Pitch, roll, yaw, surge, sway, and heave. Tommy and I, the first day we had a practice run, we had all 6 of those. 2 times I pushed the captain back in his seat because it rolled us one way or other. It was some rough water, but we survived it and we had some hits and we caught fish. Explaining how circle hooks work. And you all, when you bring somebody new in your boat and they grab that rod and set the hook, you just lost that fish. So you have to explain, let that fish run. We lost some fish because the customer ran up and grabbed the rod and set the hook. Coaching the angler in the catch. Walter, has the lane mastered this yet? Pull up, reel down, pull up. I mean, we all say this to our customers, you know, hey, don't just reel, pull up, reel down. Net boy, that's a dangerous job. If I mess up on a fish, I was in you-know-what's creek. You don't mess up in Tommy's boat. Unhooking and weighing the fish. Lifting up the fish for the customer's photo op. One day we caught 15 fish, averaging 50 pounds. That was an arm day. That was a ton of fish that you have to pick up, and Sean loves to show thumb pictures. You should have seen my thumbs, both of them, ripped to shreds. I had to tape them the next day because when you have a 50 or 60 pound fish grab your finger, they don't let go. You can get go. You can get a 30-incher and let go. These fish, they don't let go. They're on for good. Releasing your fish safely back in the bay. Securing the rods back for the trip. Hooking up the boat, cooking dinner, lining up the nightly TV entertainment. We binged on Landman, and we laughed for days watching that Landman show. And these are, you know, windy days. You're going to have some windy days. You're going to be winded out. You're not going to be able to go because of the wind. What is your limit now? I know it's gone up. How many knot wind can you fish in?
It depends whether it's out of the east or west or north or south. So typically around 15, 16 mile an hour, and out of the east, 20, 21.
Right.
Sure.
And what does the captain do, you say? I got to use a chair for this. And this is the captain the whole time. No, that really wasn't him. All jokes aside, the captain's job is even harder. I'm going to let Tommy take it from here. But, you know, Tommy, I know we're talking about him, but I think there's 4 fantastic guides on this lake. Tommy's one of them. I think Kenny Short, Todd from Shad Taxi, and Squid Hound. I think those 4 are the top 4 guides, and Tommy's one of them. You're going to learn a ton of stuff today that you can apply back to your SML fishing, because a lot of his techniques, it's the same rod you use in SML, right?
Same one.
And he's using boards, he's using bait. So if you have pulling board questions, now's the time to hit him up with it. So after this, get with him. He's going to talk about his boat, trip dates, techniques. If you want to get on a list, you know, I don't know how many dates he has left this year, but he has a backup list, and then he has 2027 list. So there's some things to think about. So Tommy, and feel free to ask us questions anytime. You can kind of lean on this. I'm going to lean on a chair.
Guys, thanks for having me here tonight. I'm going to kind of start with when season starts showing up. So November, typically I start thinking, preparing, and I'll start watching the fish come down the eastern shore, New Jersey, New York, all the way down Ocean City. And typically when the water hits around 50 degrees, those fish will start moving into the bay. And you know, they'll come in waves. So when they come in, they all don't come in at one time. And you'll catch fish really good for a few days, and it'll slow down for a few days. Now we're talking an area 20 miles wide and 50 miles long. So you've got to find these fish, and there's enough fishermen that share information to where you can kind of, you know, follow these fish. But this year we didn't have anybody, did we?
No.
So we still had a good time, but these fish will want to squirt all the way up into Maryland. And then the next wave will come in, unless something happens, which happened this year. We had the, you know, the cold front come in and dropped the temperature of the water. Fishing got tough. We still caught fish every day. But
Some days 3, some days 15, some days more than 15.
right. So I look for 6 bites a day is what I look for. I'm happy with that. You know, we've had 23, 24, 25 fish days, and all these fish are over 40 pounds. So
That's purely catch and release fishery.
it is. It's all catch and release. You know, yes, Sean.
Can you explain why the fish are going up and then when they come down?
You know, I really can't tell you exactly why they're going up, other than they'll go up into the brackish water. It's darker water, and they'll winter there because it heats up. So right now we've got 38 degrees, 37 degrees in the bay. They'll be up there where it's probably above 40 degrees.
So it's not spawning.
Not yet. And I only fish it for 6 weeks. So I don't really know anything about the spring, you know, summer, fall. I know the fish aren't there all the time. So,
And just like on the lake, though, Tom and I had his his forward facing going on, and we watched monster strip blowing up bait balls. I mean, so there's a lot of bait. They might be rolling in, eating, filling up, getting ready for spawn.
yeah. Most of these fish you'll never see, though.
Yeah.
So you can we'll cover 15 miles a day trolling for these fish, and most of them you will never see. But I think they're just right on the surface. Most of all of our baits are run pretty shallow. We'll run 15 feet behind a board.
We have his boat right here, and he'll tell you about how it's set up, where he ordered it from, and
Right. So,
Hey, if anybody gets cold, just let me know, okay?
but this year, 22nd, it dropped below 40 degrees, and the bite really got tough. And when we come back from Christmas on the 26th, we was in like a 5-day warming trend, and a new wave of fish come in. The bite got really good. Around the 13th or 14th, these fish started moving back up the river. Or, you know, some of them will go to North Carolina and winter off of the coast.
what days do you spend on the lake, on the bay?
How many days?
You go from December
1st, basically, until the 15th of January.
So you're done for the year?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Fish aren't there. And if they were there, it'd be almost a non-existent bite. But, you know, as far as the boards we run, this is what we use on the lake, small boards. This is what we use on the bay. And the reason we do that is so that it'll pull, you can pull your bait really wide, and it'll keep the line from drooping into the water because of the extra tension it creates. So we run 12 boards is what we run.
And he makes and sells his own boards. And he was telling me, I asked him, how come they're not orange, they're blue or yellow or whatever? He had a good explanation for it.
Oh yeah, this is, how many fish have you seen with that's orange? It is, you know, when they look up and see that, I think it's an attractant myself. You got the silver, you got the white belly. So
Are you using the same tackle line?
we are using 30-pound main line, and I use Superior Suffix. And I go down to this, and all it is spinnerbait wire, and I use a brass worm weight basically with some glass beads. And I used to put this on my line, and at the end of the day, that eel is just constantly trying to dig, and it works that up and down on your line. Every evening I had to retie. So I made these to keep from having to retie, but they also rattle. I don't have to retie anymore. I mean, every day, I've lost fish. Every day I had to retie to keep from losing fish, and I'd still lose one occasionally. We lost one of the very first fish that got on.
Right.
And they were just tied. I don't know. If it got into the opening on the hook, pulled into the opening on the hook and cut the line, I don't really know what caused it. But
We also found out too, when we start off in the morning, it's 27 degrees, the drag is tight. And if you don't, every single rod, readjust your drag, you have a tendency to lose a fish because that's going to be tight.
That arm that you were just showing with the glass beads on it, would you utilize that here?
I have never. I'm making some for here that I'm going to try this year to see if it makes a difference.
Like, what would you think, half that size? Would you, or that?
Yeah, I would want something really light,
Yeah.
and maybe a 8 or 10 millimeter bead instead of I think these are 14s.
Because those gizzard shad, I mean, you can see them, they're
Yep.
back there, they're digging. Hell, sometimes they'll get up there sideways
Yep.
and do that, you know,
Even,
epileptic seizure stuff.
I know everybody here uses a weight, like a lead weight and a bead. And what I have found at the bay, and it'll do it here, but you'll look right above your swivel and your line will be chafed.
Yep.
And if you ride around long enough with that on your rod where it's hitting the bead, it closes the hole in the lead weight. So I went to brass.
Okay.
And I put it on a stainless steel spinnerbait wire.
Okay.
And I don't ever have to fool with it anymore.
Y'all release all those big fish?
Yep, have to. Yep. We, in the last 6 years, we've caught 483 fish over 40 pounds. So I wouldn't, listen, you couldn't pay me to keep big fish anyway.
He doesn't like keeping big fish here on the lake. It's all, you can't take it.
You know, occasionally I have to, and that's one of the things I'd like to see them change on this lake. I would love to see it make everybody turn these fish loose 30 inches and over all the time. Not this part of the time. And I ain't even against keeping one fish instead of two fish, because I can't take a client out there and say, when they say I'm keeping these two fish, I can't say no, we can't keep them. If the law said I could tell them that, then I could tell them that, because I think we're short on fish anyway. So that's my thoughts on it. But you'll never see me keep a big fish unless I have to.
You must, if you think we're short on fish, you're on the Roanoke side for sure.
So you got to remember, I fished 40 years ago too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So previous to 2003, so you say I'm just, because I wasn't really fishing for stripers in 2003 when the big kill came, so you're saying we're short, kind of short now. What was it like before that killed? I mean, was,
Yeah.
A lot of these guys in here look old enough to know, but
Oh, yeah. They sound like the koi trees when they hit in the springtime.
Yeah.
yeah.
Summertime. And
You'd shine the spotlight on the bank because you think people are throwing rocks in.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah, and the shad, it just sounded like rain the whole time.
Yeah.
It wasn't like swirl here and a swirl here.
I've heard stories that some of that the stripers aren't coming to the bank anymore, they're actually staying out because of bluebacks now, so, because I've seen what you're talking about, where traditionally it was like Christmas on the banks, and every year since, it's been 5 years now, but every year since, it just keeps dwindling and dwindling. I didn't know if
Yeah, I
that
feel
was
the same way.
an issue, or they're changing their habits issue.
You know, I don't night fish like I used to. I love it better than any kind of fishing. And that's all I've done for 25 years. But I just don't do it. You know, I got to pick one, and most people want to fish in the daytime. So I still run one every chance I get, but it just don't happen. So
As you can see, he has a 24-foot, and it's an enclosed cabin with a heater. And he has nice bench seats, those rod holders.
Wow.
How long a day is it on the water?
down there at the bay, from daylight to dark. Usually we leave around 7 and get back around 5, sometimes a little after 5, but
I mean, we need, what, $1,000?
yeah.
And they're, you know, you've split that up 4 people. It's pretty reasonable.
4 is all I'll take because it's, you know, you can get me and a first mate and 4 people sitting in a cab comfortable, and it's heated. So if you put 6 in there, which, you know, I could legally do it, I think it just kind of degrades the whole thing, you know, when you got 6 on there.
And here's our pregame setup, and you can see the striped back rods, Mike.
Strike X.
Nice striped backs, so these all ready to go. And I don't think you can get those reels anymore, though, can you?
Not unless you buy them used on eBay, so, or find them on Marketplace.
And there's a picture of his, you'll see the bench seats and his screen. He has another screen, 2 screens above that live scope screen. Go back to that one, Tim.
Okay.
And he's also set up for, on the left-hand side, for the first mate side, he's set up for a screen. He doesn't have it yet, but I think he took it off for the bay trip. But it's well set up that you can access the front deck, which the front deck was underwater many times, diving into bows. But he has a really cool self-bailing front deck. It just pours out. I tell you, the first day I was out, water coming over that, I was in a little bit of a pucker situation.
Yeah, he's like this the whole time.
You run that boat on this lake too?
I do, yeah.
Because you used to have a
Carolina skiff.
skiff, that's right.
Yeah.
So you run that boat.
The old skiff Chloe gets now. Okay, what you got? And then here's one I took. This is the first day. It was like, my gosh, what did I get myself into?
There's the puke bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on there.
Yeah. I said pea bucket, but
2 of them this year,
Yeah.
maybe 3, I don't know.
and this is a club member's son, Joe, right?
Yep.
What do they call him?
Pete, y'all met Pete from,
Yeah, Green Light Pete.
yep.
Yeah.
His son.
Yep.
And Tommy was in the back, and I said, get up there. And he looks at me, can I really get up there? I said, yeah. And he just absolutely loved it. He caught some nice fish, but you can see the setup he has. It's plenty of room. You'll see the other screen above him up by his forehead. It's a perfect setup for the bay or the lake. Oh, here he is. He window fishes too.
That's went around a few times.
And no, we're not peeing off the back. We're looking, but that kind of gives you, we're still in this looking out of the wheelhouse, kind of looking out of the back deck. And then we start on some of the pictures. You see how much room's on that back deck. This was a double, and these guys loved it.
Them some real. those guys
Yeah,
are
all
from
catch and
Roanoke.
release. And they all went down strong. No one went belly up. We had one got hit with a shark.
You can see the sea lice on this fish. There's a few of them on it.
And
Some of
sea-
them have a ton on them.
Sea lice is not a bad thing. That means it's a really fresh fish out of the ocean. And when they come in and they're covered, they've been in the ocean.
You mean they've been out and they're coming in?
Right.
Hey,
Once they're in the bay for about 3 days, those will start falling off of them.
Is it because the salinity content's lower?
Yep.
So I've heard that that's how you can kind of tell if the fish are kind of
Yep.
moving in and
Yeah.
they're out.
Yeah, and
On
some,
on January 5th, huge school of fish come in. I mean, it was just like some of the best times ever. And everybody, there was me on, you know, I fished the last 13 days of the year. From January 1st to 13th, I was the only boat out there. Nobody else was out there.
And let me tell you, there's 2 or 3 other really good guides on the bay. We were there all the time. They get on the UHF, VHF or UH? What is it?
VHF.
VHF, and I'd hear, Tommy, what are you doing? What are you doing? They're calling him all the time. Here he is, a Smith Mountain Lake guy, but all the Chesapeake guides are calling him, want to know where the fish are.
Yeah. We have good success down there. We really do. So.
You ever catch anything besides stripers?
You can. You have to fish deep, and they're little dogfish or shark about that long. It's a waste of a good eel, basically. So we don't we don't ever catch striper down there.
What's the price of an eel now?
$4.
And how many did you buy to start off?
10 dozen is what I buy. But now,
How many did you release?
3 or 4 dozen.
Really?
Yeah, 10 dozen last year. I fished 19 days on 10 dozen of eels.
I heard they're hard to kill.
You can kill them really easy, but if you aerate them, you know, just like we do our bluebacks or gizzard shad in a tank.
Has anybody,
Put them on ice?
No. I put them in I put them in a bait tank, just like a super bait tank too.
How many can you put in your tank at one time, Tommy?
I had 10 dozen in a 50-gallon tank.
Don't they wrap around your arm when you grab them?
They will.
if you use a rag and you squeeze them tight and you hook them quick? No, but and at 27 degrees, if you miss and you're trying to get it in, all of a sudden they wrap around, you got to throw it down and start again.
Yeah. When you drop them, you got to get the hook in and drop them at the same time, because they'll wrap your line, and that's basically you cut and start over. So.
Yeah, I was called a few names on the first time we're set up because, you know, when you have these boards, we had 12 boards out. On calm days, we had 12 out, 6 on one side, 6 on the other. And that's tough to do, hook, release, and then make sure all they're balanced out. And if I didn't have them spaced right, he'd come out. He'd come out of the wheelhouse. You need to fix this.
When you put a sandwich down.
Yeah.
Have you run floats out the back too?
What is it?
You run floats out the back too?
You know, I did the last part of the year, and I'm going to this year. What I have figured out, I think this is going to be something new for this year, is, you know, I run these planer boards with the white, and this year I run some little floats for 2 lines out the back. Almost no interest in it whatsoever. So I have made some 12-inch just to float and run a rod through it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna drag it behind it so they don't have a profile of the fish that they're looking at.
Okay.
And hopefully that's gonna create some more, you know, we get to use those lines, and I'm gonna run them on a 4,000 spin caster this year to make it interesting. So.
With the live bait feeder on it? If you have those, have you ever used those?
No.
Oh man, that's the sweetest sound in the world. With that live bait feeder, you leave it open, they take off.
Yeah.
I use it on off the back of my boat, either free line or lightweight. Gary, where are you, Gary? What do we call it?
It's a fun line.
It's the fun line. I put it on a medium spinning rod.
Yeah.
It's an Okuma bait feeder, and they've got 200 up to 500 series or 5,000 whatever series. And it's a rear drag system, and you just leave it open, and you get a bite. And all you do is you go over there and you flip that drag down with the circle hook. Then the rod loads up, and then you just lift it up. And it's the fun rod. It's awesome.
Yeah.
This picture, this young lady, it was the first big group we had, and she had a 62-pounder on. She was the first one to grab it on this run around.
So in the background there, is that a calm day? Is that a sporty day? What is that?
That's a 2 to 3 footer day, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably about 60 or 70% of what we can fish, probably. I don't know.
And you know, if they say it's a 1.5 or 2 foot waves, it's really 4, because you go to the bottom of one and the top of the other. So when your boat's rocking 4 feet back and forth, you're just praying that Dramamine kicks in.
These waves here were coming 4 different directions that day, if I remember correctly.
And that's like I said, there's 6 wave actions, and we had them all.
So I grew up on Smith Mountain Lake, pretty much.
Right.
And I thought the first time I went to the bay this was gonna be no problem. These kind of waves. I was in for a rude awakening.
Well, it's all
That same way.
Terrible.
it's all how you prepare. If you go in the bay and you eat a monster meal that night, and you eat a big. One guy had a Hardee's biscuit in the morning. His face got white really quick, and he went out and sat in the back. You got to eat light at night. You got to eat light in the morning. Just double check. Take your patch or your Dramamine. If you feel anything, you look at the horizon. If you're looking at your phone, like everybody does nowadays, you're done. So look out on the horizon, and then all of a sudden you feel good. And then you go sit on the stern. If you feel a little queasy, that's the least likely part of the boat to rock. So there are some methods to kind of get out of that feeling.
I was like you, Tim. First time I went, I thought, I've been on a lake my whole life. I don't need anything. I made it about 1 hour and was throwing up. And I've done this for 6 years now. This year, when I was at the doctor's office, I said, hey, can you write me a prescription for the, how you say it? Scopolamine patch. Put it on my ear. You can wear it 3 days. Not one time did I ever feel nauseous. And, I get deathly sick. If you ride in the back seat of a car and try to read and you get sick, if you don't do something before you get on a boat, you're going to be one of those guys that's back there in the corner for a little while. So
Here she is, hooked up, and we kept asking her if she wanted some help. That 62-pounder, it took a while to get it in.
she tried to give it up, if you remember, and I wouldn't let her.
Yeah.
I said, no. You're reeling that fish in.
Yeah.
Good call, here we go.
That's a real good family, too. I love those people.
Yeah.
They were awesome. So,
And Tommy's real particular too. When you grab your fish for the photo op, you have to grab the top jaw and open it. So it's great when you see that monster. I'm on the side. Tommy likes taking them where you can see the mouth. And you see him. Everybody just into it. He's fighting the fish. Smiles everywhere. And you could see his tree too. Go back one. And we would end up using this tree. We had those cannons on the gunnel, but then we used his tree, which really helped keep that line. Because there's those waves that are going back and forth. Those lines would hook a board. So if you kept them high and kept them separated, they wouldn't hook up.
So keeps them out of the
you see the tower back there? And
Shh, shh, that's top secret.
we're going to tell these guys here. They won't tell nobody.
Okay.
So,
I'm going to tell you, this group right here is the biggest bunch of gossipers.
so that is straight out of Morley's Wharf. If anybody knows where that's at, you can find it. But
And on a calm day, how fast can we put our first board in the water from the wharf? Calm day.
on a calm day, let's see, 10 miles, 15 miles out probably.
Yeah.
So 15, maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah. So, and that's how fast you get on the water. You go to the ramp, you get in the boat, you're fishing in 30 minutes.
Yeah, unless we're running 20 miles north or
Right.
20 miles south.
Or you got waves and it's an hour and you're going, please God, get me there.
Did you get to where you had 2 or 3 hookups at a time?
Yeah, I've had 9 on it one time, over 40. So
How many did you get in?
we got 7 of those in, and it was a father, and he had his son that was 16 years old, and that was his birthday present. And man, when they started, it was just like one right after another, just all the way around. 6 went on my side, and Tiny was with me that day, and 3 went on his side. And we just stuck them in rod holders, and they reeled them in, and we didn't even bring the first few fish in. We just unhooked them beside the boat and took pictures of the last 2, and because we knew it was going to be a while. I don't know, it was like an hour and a half or something before we got them all in.
And this is, you look at these fish, this is an unbelievable fishery, the Chesapeake Bay. You're not going to find fish like this, around too many places. It's a great
There's no
experience.
other place in the world that you can catch them like that.
Yeah.
75% of all the fish on the eastern coast go into Chesapeake Bay to spawn. So
But you can catch some pretty good ones at Boone Lake in Tennessee.
that's right, you can. I fished it. I got my biggest freshwater fish at Boone Lake. So
So tell me, why are you catching so many big ones? I mean, there's got to be a whole distribution of sizes.
nope.
Are they only big ones there?
Yeah, I have fished it, like I said, six years. I've caught 10 fish in the 30s and nothing under that.
Wow.
And everything else was 40s, no, none of them.
Wow.
Yep. So, you know, when I go down there and fish every day, it's not like, well, I might have a chance of catching one today. Unless the water temperature drops after the fish get there, you are going to catch fish every single day. There is.
If you go out, if you can.
Yeah, if you can get out there. It doesn't matter how rough it is. If you can get out there, you will still catch fish.
What size circle hook do you?
I use 8/0, 9/0, and 10/0. And I use a 20-pound or a 25-pound InvisX leader. So, I mean, you got to play the fish a little bit.
What's your yield size, Tom?
Eels are probably big as your thumb and about, I don't
2
know.
feet.
Yeah, 24 inches, 18 inches. Every once in a while you get a little one, but it don't seem to matter whether it's small and a big one or, yeah, I've never pulled bunker, I've never pulled mullet. No use to. You can keep eels 10 dozen for 40 some days. And usually, you know, you take them off the hook at the end of the day and you put them back in the bait tank. Tomorrow you get them back out there.
And you know, they look half dead when you take them off. You pull them up the next day and they're back the way it was.
They're happy.
Yeah.
They really are. You don't have to feed them. You know what I mean?
Unlike the bait.
Yeah.
Do they poop and like they filter?
No, when you get them, they're all ready. You know, anybody that's ever went down there, I buy mine from a place called Ocean's East, Eastern Shore. They usually have plenty when you get there. I buy a bunch because they did run short one year. So I buy enough that'll take me all the way through 40 days, you know. But, you know, when I first went down there, I had nobody take me out. I went down there, I asked a few questions. They said, put a wet towel on them and some ice and you can keep them forever. Now, I killed 3 or 4 dozen the first night I was there. I froze some to death. I dried some out. I drowned some. You know, just trying to get a best way. The way I've got mine is this is my live well, and I put a double stone aerator in it, and I run it the whole 40 days, day and night. If it gets real cold, I got a 100-watt aquarium heater. I drop it in the tank.
He also has a tank at the cabin with a heater in it too.
Yep. So that's where we keep the majority. I keep about 3 dozen on the boat because you only lose 3, 4, 5 a day. Even if you catch 20 fish, I mean, you might lose 7 or 8.
The smaller fish,
It's got a lot of lice on it.
Yeah.
Tommy, the smaller fish in Chesapeake come up earlier in the year, they come up in September.
Yeah, they do have some runs on some fish, and then they have most of your schoolies. They don't migrate.
Right, they're in the day most
Yep.
of the time.
Well, we were catching these. I got a buddy that's south of Annapolis, and he was sending pictures. He was catching 20, 30 fish a day, but all his fish were 15, 20 pounds lighter than ours. So all the smaller ones were way up right before the Bay Bridge up there.
Yeah, I got a feeling most of them were resident fish.
Oh, okay.
Don't you?
Yeah.
15 pounders.
Well, no,
20 pounders?
he said he had some ice on his, so they had
Okay.
some fresh fish move in.
You charter guests, stay at a local motel?
Yeah, right there at Morley's Wharf, a little town called Exmoor. You got Holiday Inn, you got Hampton Inn, and a Comfort Inn. That time of the year, they're about $75 a night. Wow. There ain't nobody there.
And do not call and go through booking. Tommy's one, he said, just call, and we had to do that, right, Sean? We canceled one night. But call them up in person, say, give me room, they'll give you room. If you have to cancel, there's no penalties, you don't lose your money. They understand the way it is up there.
Third-party booking, you get to run around. That is, you know, anywhere, not just down there.
So if somebody was gonna book with you next year, and I mean, obviously it's fishing, so you never can guarantee anything. But
Yeah.
is it earlier December, middle, late? What do you think?
If I had to pick the best day over the last 6 or 7 years, the week after Christmas has been the best.
Okay.
But always the week before Christmas. I mean, this year our best day was the 10th.
Okay.
January, December.
10th of December. And I mean, the 10th of January was awesome too, because that second wave of fish come in, that usually kind of starts trickling down around the 10th. sometimes these fish will stay into February. But it's horrible.
What percentage did you have to cancel of this year?
What is it?
What percentage did you have to cancel this year?
I was booked 40 days straight, and I got to fish 19 of them. 50%. Last year, I was booked 40 days, I got to fish 11 of them.
Wow.
You guys fished
So I didn't make no money. I do this because I love to see the smile on these people's face down there.
And here's a double hookup. And you can see we had to navigate. We were right in the channel at times. So I'm sitting there watching the Maritime app, making sure I don't have a big old tanker coming.
So how close is that to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge tunnel?
Oh, we're way down below it. Yeah, we're below the Potomac, below Tangier. I don't know if anybody saw the news today. Tangier is iced out.
Excuse me, the bridge tunnel or the Annapolis tunnel?
The bridge tunnel.
Oh, yeah, we're above it.
Yeah, about
Oh, okay, got it.
Sorry, I thought
30
you were
or
talking
40
about.
miles above it right there.
Okay.
So were the other boats not going out because they didn't have anyone booking them?
A lot of them's like that now. You know, I talked to all the guides down there, and they say they just don't get booked anymore. And you know, I think with our success and just knowing people here, taking people, 200 people out a year, that, you know, I talk to everybody about it. Not to sell it, just because I love it. And you know, it turns into something some days. And I think they're kind of relying on somebody on the internet to just find them and do it. So.
How many trips you set up with SML people? The lake people that come out to the bay?
A bunch of them. Most of my clients are from
Really?
Smith Mountain or fish with me. Yes, sir.
Cancellations, was it because you thought it was too rough or the customer?
Yeah, I won't endanger your life. If it's a small craft advisory and it's not a borderline one, I'm not going to take you out there. And I'll call you before you come down, because usually I know the 2 days before pretty close. If it's a borderline day, I'll tell you, hey, it's borderline. If you want to chance it and we can go, we'll go. Sometimes you can't, if it's the tail end of something, wind that's dying through the night, they may have that small craft advisory over at 7. But when you get out there, they may change it to 10. I'll still take you out and fish you from, 10 to whenever we can. So sometimes you get the morning part, sometimes you get all day, and there's some really glassy days, which happens occasionally, better than this lake. You got a picture of that?
Of what?
A real glassy day?
Yeah, I got a couple real
We won't
smooth.
do it now. I just wondered if you had any on there. That's my old boat.
You know, Tom,
You know-
this fish has gone viral.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watch the pages, but, I subscribe to a lot of fishing stuff, and you're starting to see this picture.
Well, there's people claiming it's theirs.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
This picture has gone viral on all kinds of sites.
Yeah, it's,
And every time you look at it, it's a different story.
yeah.
And only the people that know.
Yeah, that guy right there, I don't know if y'all know Michael Kale, which is tri-fisher. I don't know if you know him or not. He does all my videos for me here and down there, but that's his father-in-law, and that was the biggest fish that we've ever had go on our
What was that
boat.
one?
6205 or something like that. So that picture there don't really do it any justice. There's a better picture of that fish, but
You made
and I had a guy one time say on Facebook, he was like, that's fake, and it was going on. So then I sent the video I just attached it to it, and you can't fake a video.
That's like what you said. You're going to have naysayers no matter
Right.
what.
So,
And look at that. This is what I go back. Look at the mouth of that thing.
Yeah.
Those mouths are like this. They're huge.
she's probably my favorite female fisherman. Her name's Cornbread. Good friend of mine from Larry Green. That's his daughter. Larry Green might have come up here with Pete. They fish together all the time.
Pete was here, when was Green Light Pete here? That was back maybe last February. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
about a year ago.
That's a good one. Those people right there's fished with me 3 or 4 years, and they've caught some really nice fish.
Do you ever have to fizz them, Tommy?
No. Water's so cold. You know, every once in a while you might think you might have, shoulda, but it's just,
And, you know, when you're out,
Shallow.
You're only fishing 15
Yeah, you're
feet
catching
down, right?
yeah.
up in the water column already.
Yeah, you can't even see these fish. I mean, most of the time. Not one time did we do anything deep. Did you see me do anything deep?
yeah,
No.
no.
And you're catching these at 15 feet more?
Yeah, I ain't even fishing that deep. My baits, you can, if you go 3 mile an hour, you'll see the boat or the bait on top of the water. But
Do you use a thumper down there?
you know, I've never tried, but I run my engine the whole time. I never turn it off. Now with the kicker on it, I can run the kicker and the trolling motor, and really I don't even need John anymore. Okay. So,
Hey, hey.
Somebody can,
John, this is when HR steps in. You bring your computer to the office.
What exactly do you do?
it will put me on a line that I don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And you can see the boards lined up. That's his side, so,
That satisfies my OCD very well, thank you.
yeah. If mine were out of balance, he'd come out of the wheelhouse. I hear it, ring, 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 and he'd just look at me, go back in.
So does anyone down there run the outriggers? Or is someone just?
You know, you could run outriggers. You know what I think you'd lose? The visibility of that white fish that they're looking at. Because if you run it on an outrigger, you just got a clipped line there. So, yeah, I think the engine running, and the visibility of that, and them digging with the rattle, I think all that plays a big factor into why we put so many fish in the boat.
So you're using the little kicker motor for trolling, right?
I am that and the trolling motor. I run the trolling motor on 7 all the time.
And you know, he keeps the line. If you had just a trolling motor, you don't have as well a line, or if you had just a kicker, you put them both together, he just gives it a line. He comes out, him and I are, you know, we get in doubles, I'm on one side, he's on the other. He doesn't have to do anything.
Don't have to fool with it.
That feed, Tom, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you do that at Smith Mountain as well?
No. I mean, I fish Smith Mountain, but I've never used that rattle, which I'm going to try it this year. I'm going to try some of the floats, the long white floats. You guys can buy them anywhere and paint them, you know what I mean? I'm just sharing some information with you. So it may work, it may not, but I'll know this year. So I will try it.
Isn't that cool?
So, just to give you an idea, it could have been a small board or a big board. I know the ones I'm using is big, but I've had those fish eat my boards. And you can see how big they are. You know, it don't happen often, but I've had them come up and try to take my boards over and over and over. So,
It's just a teaser.
Oh, and I'm going to put that on there, an example of his beads.
A little clack in there.
And you know, some days we could only put 2 out on either side. It was so heavy, so the waves were so strong. And this is his daughter and your daughter's friend.
Bethany.
What's it?
Yes, but
I don't
How
know
many
about
fish
that.
you guys get that day? You get some good fish, or?
I
And
think you only caught 2 or 3 that day, maybe 4.
I think we got 4.
Okay.
And she's sporting some turquoise nails for this trip.
You wouldn't see her without it.
Look how flat the water was. That's what I like. And then there's dad and daughter having fun.
Oh, one of the very first fish that we caught this year was you on there had the teeth marks?
Yeah,
Stripped down the side?
yeah. That's the shark one. Yeah,
Shark had it.
yeah.
How's your next? Do you ever catch any kind of fish that's tagged or?
I've caught 3 tag fish, and I'll tell you about catch and release. The very first one I caught was legible. The other 2 weren't. I couldn't tell. But that fish was tagged 6 years before I caught it. It weighed 38 pounds and was caught in Montauk Bay, New York. 2 years after that, another guy caught it. Took a picture of the tag, turned it back loose. It weighed 44 pounds. And I think it was caught in New Jersey. So I caught it in Chesapeake Bay 2 years after that, and it weighed 48 pounds. So that's what catch and release will do for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
You better eat your Wheaties. You're struggling with that one. Look at that. Oh, Dad, hurry up and take the picture.
I think that's her first time fishing, wasn't it? Has she fished before his first time?
And it was just calm. You know, it's peaceful too when you're riding back or you're just sitting there watching the boards. It is pretty peaceful. I know some of you might think it's, oh, I like this one. Explain that one.
That's one of the few you do see. That definitely was a striper. You got the coordinates on there, John.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway.
Wait. I didn't fuzz it out like somebody does their baits on the A-rigs.
But that's that picture really doesn't do it justice. I mean, that line is super, super thick on there. So.
But what was the fish doing? It was down below and came up to look at your eel, right?
Yeah.
And this is just some.
This is Smith Mountain here.
Yeah. I had to throw that in there because I just.
40 and 50 pounders, I'm about to pass out.
I had to.
So how come you don't see them on the screen in the ocean?
They're up here. They're not down here under us. Even with live scope, I don't see them. I don't know if they're skirting out around us too quick. But then occasionally you'll get that fish come right up under the boat and follow you for a while.
And we would see them, but we just didn't see a lot like you see in Smith Mountain Lake. But I had to throw that on there because I think it's amazing.
Yeah, you can fish all day and not see 15 fish on your graph. To me, I like having it on there, but if I had to have anything, it'd be a map. And I would use Navionics Platinum Plus. That way you've got the tides, the current flow.
Oh, that's what I want.
The ledges.
Explain miles an hour, and you want to keep a 1.5 mile an hour.
You want to pull 1.5 to 2 mile an hour. So if you're going with the tide, you want to be 1.5, 2 mile an hour faster than whatever that tide is. If you're going against it, if it's coming at you at 0.5, you're going to drop down to 1 or 1.5. So at the there'll be. If you ask 20 different people, there'll be 20 different answers, but that's how I do it. So.
I had a heart palpitation when I flipped to that.
And this is what we had to watch out for. And they're traveling at 17 or 20 knots. They come up on you quick.
You don't even hear them. They're silent.
And this is after I left, he puts hot dogs and hamburgers out for the first mate. That wasn't for me. Thanks. And then this is.
Got a tip.
Yeah. Going back, it's just beautiful. Roger's set up, we're heading back, and then we have some videos. And you don't have to play them all, because some of them are a little lengthy, but.
He's from Smith, man. That's Ken.
Yeah, these are Smith, and they're doubled up, right?
Yeah, they're doubled up on that one.
Yeah.
I never had a lot of multiples this year.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Left-handed reels.
I do this year. I didn't until this year. I didn't think there was anybody else in the world that done that. Left. You know what I mean? So.
And you can see these aren't some bad days, and this is, that's a cool shot.
You ever use spoons down there?
I tried them. Everybody knows me. They know I use spoons on Smith Mountain. So far, you use spoons, John?
No, I don't. No.
But
Oh, God.
Yeah. They'll get you sick just watching it.
Need a bigger boat.
Where's the bucket?
yeah, and that wasn't real bad.
No, that wasn't. And here's the 62-pounder. And she was pulling up, Walter, wheeling down. Tell the lane.
Really down.
How do you keep your feet dry? You got a certain pair of shoes.
You don't.
You don't get wet on
That
that boat.
back deck stays dry. You don't get wet.
Unless it's raining.
Right.
And then it's going to get on top of it. It self-bails. So.
And you can see we had to help her a little bit with the rod. She was just getting wore out.
How long does it take to get a fish in that tank?
15 minutes.
Yeah.
She's gonna remember that the rest of her life.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And you know, after she caught that, the guy that booked it so goes, "We can leave." And it was one of the first fish. We can leave.
The memory's done there. You're not gonna beat it.
I can't wait till she starts saying, "Dad, how many did you catch?" And she beats you on the lake, Tommy.
See, it's coming. She beats me sometimes now when we're jigging together. It's a competition every time we drop somebody off. If we've been on fish, me and her go back and fish them.
And you can see it's not heavy duty saltwater. And then we got bored because we got winded out. So we started playing with AI. And I got one that was.
No wonder your thumbs were.
Yeah.
Sean's been catching those fish.
And then we watched Landman until we were. And then there's an AI. Don't tell the ex-DEA guy in here. We got bored. But then.
He was in Virginia.
That is an AI pic, but that's a great picture. So.
That's outstanding.
I felt like we was in that water a few times.
Oh yeah, we definitely, yeah. We would fill that front deck up with a foot of water, and it would drain out real quick. But I looked at him, and he looks at me the first time. He's like, "I hope we make it." Well, really, what he really scared me was when I hit that. We got those big waves looking at us. Says, "I wonder how long it takes Coast Guard to come out and rescue." And he goes, "It's not rescue, it's recovery." I went, "Oh, thanks."
They couldn't get out there quick enough.
Yeah, no.
Good to know.
You had, 7 people die off the coast in
Oh,
a
yeah.
fishing boat last week or this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll let you guys, any questions for Tommy? Or?
We good?
All right.
Public service announcement.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go fishing.